Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. And today we've got a German-esque beer from Lidl's. I think it's Lidl's. It's part of, I think they're rolling it out as part of the kind of Octoberfest kind of scenario. So yes, so this is what we've got. We've got Festbier. So it is, and I'll just do another. There we go, Festbier. Don't know, is it too much? Trying to get that reflection out of the way. Maybe that might be a bit better. Not really. There we go. We'll bugger it. That's as good as we're getting. Now, I'm not sure exactly what this costs because the wife bought it. And because she's seen it, I thought, oh, that's something different. So she bought it. It's 5.5%. It's half a litre. Festbier. So it's in the style of the kind of like the two kind of beers that are used at kind of Octoberfest. The two popular beers is the Festbier and the Marzen beer. Marzen beer is kind of a bit stronger, a bit more body to it, that type of stuff. And the Festbier is actually brewed for, it's a festival beer, that's what it basically means. And it's basically Marzen, but it's kind of slightly toned down a bit lighter, that type of thing. And both these beers for Octoberfest, it's called Octoberfest, but they actually hold it down in September in Bavaria because the weather's better, so you get better outside drinking climate and that type of stuff for the tents and everything else, so it's better than being rained off and things like that. So that's why they do it in September, even though they still call it Octoberfest. But these beers are actually brewed in March, and then what they're doing, they're actually conditioned right up until basically the start of the festival, and that's when they're released. So they make a big deal of these Fest beers and of course the Marzen beers as well. So do they give any spiel on it? Absolutely none, really. Just lager, allergy advice. Contains barley, storage instructions, store in cool, dry place. Best before sea base. And there you go, best before August 2023. So there we go. So shall we crack it open and see what it's like? I know there's quite a few people that I'm not a big fan of German beers, which I can understand. I mean, German beers can be nice beers, but I think sometimes in certain aspects they can be a bit overhyped. But let's see what this one's like. Let's see if this ranks up. Let's see if it's bursting with flavour or bursting with watery pissness. Is it watery piss? Let's see. So there you go. It's kind of darker than what you'd expect a fest beer to be. A fest beer or a festival beer, it's usually a lot lighter in colour than this. Alright. Now there's two things you should get with the fest beer. You shouldn't really get so much of a malty smell or flavour, and basically you shouldn't get any hoppy flavours either. It should be really kind of light grain flavours, that type of stuff. I'm getting some grain, so I'm getting a little bit of malt actually, some light malt. Getting no hops, but yeah, it is quite dark. It should be a lot lighter than that. It should be really straw coloured. So anyway, let's see what it tastes like. I suppose the flavours are there. I'm not going to deny the flavours are there that we'd expect from a fest beer, but it does feel slightly watery. The flavour profile just seems to be a bit more diluted than they really should be. Let's kind of break it down. Right, we're starting off with some light grain at the start of the mouth, and ever so hints of malt, very, very light, gentle hints. There's no real sweetness to it, but there's no bitterness to it either. It's quite a kind of neutral flavour, so you're really just getting the kind of grain and kind of beer flavour, that's what you're getting. Moved on to the mid tongue, again, the kind of grain starts to kind of just step up a wee bit more and just a little bit, wee bit more intense, but still very, very light. And you just get little accents of slightly different grainy flavours, so you get slightly grassy, kind of edges, slightly kind of wheaty, kind of barley kind of flavours. So that's what you're getting. It's kind of like, imagine in your case as though you've got basically a whole grain bread and you've taken a bite of it, just with nothing on it, just a whole bite of it. And as you're basically biting into the different grains and chewing them, you're just getting these little kind of grain flavours just ever so slightly. It's like that. That's what you're kind of getting. Just little hints of, you know it's grain, but they're just slightly, ever so slightly different. And that's how you're noticing that it's different grain flavours you're getting. But that's what it's like. And then it kind of moves on to the kind of aftertaste from that. And it tones off, so it does. And I'm not saying you're getting a little bit of sweetness, but you get a little bit of lightness at the end in the aftertaste. And ever so slight hints of earthiness. That kind of, that kind of little earthy kind of flavouring you get, which any more than it is now would probably be off-putting and probably really start to kind of spoil the aftertaste. But it's just light enough that it's not kind of really encroaching too much, but you do know it's there. And you're waiting for that kind of, you're waiting for it to kind of maybe get stronger and become more off-putting. It doesn't get that far, but it's not nice having that kind of flavour there anyway. But it's not too bad from that point of view. Oh. So, what would I rate this out of 10? I quite like Festbiers and Marzen beers and things like that. And I was planning to go to Octoberfest this year, but like I said, previous videos, the flights were a pain in the backside. There was no real direct flights into Munich. There was, I think the closest I could get was basically Salzburg from the area I'm in, without having to travel up to basically London or Heathrow to try and get a flight. So from the kind of local airports round about me, the closest I get to was Salzburg, and then I'd have to get on a train, which is fine going there. But if you're sitting there and you've had a good few days on the bevy, let's be totally honest, nobody goes to Octoberfest to watch. It's not a spectator sport. You're there for, oh, let's get wired in. And of course, I'll be totally honest, I would have done reviews, but I would have got wired in. Now, to be totally honest, I would have got wired in. But the problem with that is all that hassle of travelling back. Because you think, oh, in the last night, well, I'm travelling tomorrow, I won't drink, I'll take it easy. But you're in that kind of festival atmosphere, and the Germans are being friendly and party mad, and it's quite intoxicating. I've been there before, and next minute, I'll just have one, and then, oh Jesus, you're staggering back to your digs, shit face. And then you're travelling the next morning, you're on a bloody train, and then you've got to try and get a plane, and then once I've got the plane, then I've got to basically travel back, either by bus or take the car back and things like that, and, so it's a whole day of travelling, planes, trains and automobiles, it's like that type of stuff, and I was thinking, no. It's a lot easier, just get on a flight, fly back, and then, once you get your backside on the seat in the plane, you don't really have to worry about things. But then there's the cases of you've got to make sure you're at the right platform to get the plane or get the train and everything else, and getting from the train station to the airport and to get the flight, and then basically once you land and try and get back from the airport home, and you're thinking, no, not mine. It's not worth it anymore. So that's what kind of put me off. If I could got a flight even within Germany close enough, then that would have been so bad. But if I go to Salzburg's not even in Germany, so bloody Austria. So anyway, to cut a long story short, I didn't. So I quite like going to Octoberfest, and I quite like the beers that I've had there and everything else. This, it's not really like the beers you get there. These beers, they work bloody hard during the year in the build up to it. So they start in March, they're brewing the beers in March, they're working hard, to condition them and everything else. And there's a big hype. And of course, they want them to be well received. I mean, seriously, when these beers are released for the festival, they want the reaction to be good to them. So, you know, they really do put a lot of effort into them. Whether you like these style of beers or not, you've got to appreciate some of the work that's put in. You know, with this, there is no real work put into it. It's just a kind of, well, let's make a mass produce something and, you know, put it on a can. I mean, I don't even know where this is actually brewed. I mean, it might even be brewed in Germany, I don't know. I don't know. Produced, produced by Frankenhaller Brewhaus in Johann Klein Strasse. And yeah, so it is actually brewed in Germany, but it's a bit lighter than what it should be. The colours are kind of off. The flavours are kind of there, but not the best, and just feel a bit kind of watery. So, and remember, the Festbier is supposed to be the lighter beer, and this feels kind of watered down, so you can get an idea of what the flavour profiles are like. So out of 10, I'm going to give this, I'm going to give it a 4. It's actually slightly below average. I mean, if you just take it as a normal lager, then it's not bad. It's not so bad as a lager. It's probably better than quite a lot of the mainstream kind of piss waters you're getting. So at the end of the day, it's a good option. If you like Carling or Foster's, then this is a nice option for you from that point of view. If you like some of the, if you've ever been to Octoberfest and you like some of the beers that you've tasted there, then this isn't it. So that's why it's supposed to be a fest beer, but it's just not really there. It's not even a good average. It's just below average of that kind of style of beer. So it's 4 out of 10. It's a 500ml can. It's 5.5%, and well, my view is give it a go, give it a try. You might like it, you might not. It's up to you. For me, it's just not really quite there, and it's not really a fest beer. Anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers, and bye for now.